I don't understand why screen recording is so difficult. Okay, which one is it? Which?
Second one?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look. Okay. Texture injection on stream services. Okay, so this is a pretty unusual paper, like the topic. The topic is very specialized. So this will be an interesting experiment. By the way, I guess I'll just try to make a prediction before we go through this about what ChatGPT is good at and what it's not good at. I think it will be good at extracting the concept. I think it will be good at that. I think it will be kind of difficult to, I think it will be good at giving you a summary of the implementation, but I think the summary could be long. Like you need a short summary that's just 3 sentences or something. I think the summary you get from ChatGPT might be long. However, you might be able to say, can you give me a summary of the implementation in 3 or 4 sentences and see what happens. I don't know how it's going to handle the data characteristics. I think it might struggle with that part. I think it's going to struggle a little bit with the related work. Like, I think it will identify important related work, but if it's the correct related work, that's a different question. And then what was the other part? The type of evaluation, that will be interesting. I think it might struggle with that too. So I think it will do the best at the concept and implementation parts. That's my guess. I'm just making a guess. I can also say, like, when I tested it out, I gave it a DOI, and it summarized the wrong paper. So it got everything wrong when I tested it out. But I saw another student test it out, and it got the concept part perfect. But it's because the paper was written very clearly, and it said, the concept of this paper is. So it got the concept perfectly. It quoted exactly where the authors wrote exactly that text because of the way it was written. Okay, so let's see what it says. Can you describe the concept presented in this paper? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so yeah, there's a problem there. I'm surprised. I don't understand that. Why would ChatGPT get the wrong paper? I don't get that.
You can add the solution at the back of this.
Yep, okay, so that's the same problem I had. I gave it a DOI, and it gave me the wrong paper back. So you tried some other things, I guess, right?
Yeah, you can the title.
Overall, yep. Yep. Interestingly enough, though, it is a related paper, not exactly related, but it's in the same kind of, it's chosen another data visualization paper, another flow visualization paper. So that's kind of interesting. The paper's title is Texture and Novel. Okay, okay. Texture, yep, okay. The author's goal was to create a hybrid visualization technique that combines the advantages of both streamline and surface visualizations. It was generating stream surface by affecting texture. So, by the way, this is the concept, this first sentence. It's almost correct. It's almost correct. So if I was going to summarize this, I would say the author's goal was to create a hybrid visualization technique that combines the advantages of textures in surface-based visualizations, right? Because it has that word texture. So there's texture there combined with stream surfaces. So it almost got the concept right. Like, it's better than nothing. Like, you would get points.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't get distinction level points. Now this part is implementation, actually. They propose a method for generating stream surfaces by vectoring texture patterns along streamlines in the flow data. That is correct. The surfaces provide more detailed representative flow behavior than traditional streamlines while still maintaining the clarity of the surface visualization. So that's correct, but this second sentence goes in implementation. So how do I know that? The concept is the what is happening, like what is going on. The implementation is the how. That's another way to separate it. As soon as it starts going into how it's done, it's talking about implementation, right? Okay, so this is really interesting. Yeah. Okay, actually, that's not true. It's not actually looking for selecting important stream surfaces. That's actually not true. That's not the point of this paper. A new hybrid visualization for that combines the benefits. Okay, so it's repeating itself. So it's almost correct again. This is almost a correct summary of the concept. What is the most important related work? Okay, I'm really curious about this now. However, one of those streamline-based techniques for visualization by Hellwood. Okay. Again, this is almost correct. It's not quite correct. But it's close. Like, again, you would get points, but you wouldn't get distinction level. Or there are two previous papers in this case, but there's one that's really the most important. And it's just called image space advection on surfaces. That's the most important previous one. So this is really interesting. This is actually incorrect. This is actually incorrect. You would get points again. I don't know what points I would give you. I guess I would give something between 50 and 60. Because it is related, it's just not the correct related work. You could ask another question like, are you sure?
We are some other questions at the end of the
Okay, what other characteristics? Okay, this is going to be really interesting too. The paper with the use computational fluid dynamic simulation results as the data source. That is correct. That is correct. Yes. Yep. Yes, that's correct. There are other correct answers too, like it doesn't have to be this. You could say that the input are stream surfaces. That would be also correct, because that's also true. But the stream surfaces are generated from CFD simulation data. As you can see, this is a pretty advanced topic. This is what makes it so difficult, right? This is an advanced topic. It's very specialized. It's data visualization, right? The paper also highlights the importance of data pre-processing. Okay, that's not true, actually. That's not true. This is just noise. What type of evaluation? Okay, very, very good. That's funny. The authors use both qualitative and quantitative methods to evaluate the effectiveness of the technique. That's a funny answer, because that's true about every single research paper in the world. So it's technically correct, but the points you would get, you wouldn't get many points for that answer. You get, I don't know, I guess that would be borderline probably failing that one. Because you can say that about everything. Okay, what else does it say? Qualitative. Okay, the authors used visual inspection of the resulting stream surfaces to evaluate their quality. They compared the stream surfaces using texture to those generated using traditional streamline techniques. That's not actually true. That's not actually true. I'm surprised. But you know what's really interesting about this? It looks true. It's written in a way that looks true, but it's not actually true. Basically, we evaluated it using a case study. Basically, that the case is a case study evaluation where we try to answer a few specific questions. Say, okay, now that we have these stream surfaces, what can we see? So in some ways, the visual inspection part is correct. But if I wanted to say what kind of evaluation is, I would call it a case study. What is a case study? It's when you show a specific example of that thing being used. Like, okay, now that we have this technique, let's demonstrate how it can be used to answer a specific question or address a specific hypothesis, right? Something like that. Okay, that's really educational. So this would not be a good approach for coursework 1. That's what I would say. However, it could be a good starting point. It could be like, you could do this in ChatGPT, see what it says, and then read the paper. So it could be useful. I think, I don't know. Let's look at some more.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Can you go through the rest of the questions?
Oh, are there more?
Yeah, we have just a few more questions.
Oh, okay. Quantitative evaluation. Oh, I see.
Not this one. Not this one.
This is incorrect, by the way. That's not correct. This is not correct either. So there was no user study and there was no statistical analysis.
Yeah.
That's, okay, here's a problem. Like, if you give an incorrect answer, you should say something like, I'm not sure, but this is what I think. This is a problem because it's telling you with absolute certainty that it knows what kind of evaluation technique. That's not good. It should at least say, like, I think, I'm pretty sure, but this needs to be verified. The way the language here is not good because it's written with 100% certainty. So that's not good. Okay. Can you have access to internet resource? Okay, as an AI model, I do not have direct access to many internet or other external sources. However, I've been trained for a vast amount of text data from the internet. Okay, that's interesting. Is there a time limit of your knowledge? I read that it's up to 2021. Okay, September 2021. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a question we asked ChatGPT.
Yeah.
See, it's not really on.
I think that's going to change, though.
Yeah.
I think ChatGPT version 2.0 is not going to have that limit. That's just my guess. Like, obviously, they must be working on that.
I suppose if he doesn't get the precise shooting map and when he gets the DOI, he won't be able to get the whole paper.
The newest ones, the new ones. Yeah.
So basically, if he didn't get the paper, he's just making up some information about it.
Yeah, that's the big mystery. How does this work? That's the big mystery. Actually, that's the big mystery about all AI algorithms. How do they work? This is a major research direction. It's called like explainability and trustworthy AI. Yeah.
So I suppose I think it's better if you want to do this task, you can manually input the contents of the paper to ChatGPT.
Yes, that's possible. There's a PDF version of ChatGPT where you supply PDFs. There is a version. I can't remember what it's called. Has anybody seen it? It's called like PDF ChatGPT or something like that. It's not, it's like very, very similar. I just learned about that yesterday, actually. Maybe that will be another workshop. Okay, let's look at this one. This is interesting. Okay, this is not what I was thinking as an example, but let's see what it says. I mean, this is not really a traditional research paper. This is really like a tutorial style paper, like teaching style. It's not what you'd really call a research paper. So it's like trying to teach something, but it has gone through a peer review process. So I submitted it to a journal, then other people reviewed it and said, okay, we like this. Let's approve it for publication so that other people can use it. Okay, let's see. This one should be like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to work with this one. Okay, the concept looks fine. Yeah. Yeah, the concept is perfect. Those first two sentences. Oh, that's funny. I don't think this is true. I don't think I say anything about the benefits of writing a dissertation. I don't think anything like that exists in there. I just say this is how you do it. But I don't say anything about like, oh, this is why it's a great idea to write a dissertation. So the first two paragraphs are perfect. This one, I believe, is incorrect. This one looks correct. Summarize the implementation. So, in reality, this question doesn't make sense for this paper because there is no implementation in the sense that we're thinking about it. There is no implementation. There's an implementation section, like where you describe the implementation, but there's no implementation in the way we're thinking about it in Coursework 1. So it'll be interesting to see what it says. Oh, it's correct. So the paper does not discuss any specific implementation as it is focused on providing guidelines for writing a dissertation in computer science. So this is correct. This is a good answer. Yep. First paragraph is correct. Gesundheit. Yes. Yes, this is a perfect answer actually for the implementation. So it's really good, this one. What is the most important? I actually don't know the answer to this question myself. Because I didn't see too much previous related work exactly on this topic. The most important related would be either other academic resources or publications to provide guidance on writing a dissertation, particularly in the field of computer science. Okay. Yeah, this is a really good answer, actually. So that's a really good answer. What I would have to do is make sure that, just double check, oh, do those papers really exist? Like, can I download them and read them? Have they been published? But if those papers really exist and they have been published, then those would be good related work. I don't actually cite those papers in the related work of this document. I only cite peer-reviewed, published guidelines. So there are other guidelines that have been written in kind of a blog style or a PDF style that have not gone through a refereeing process, and I didn't cite those. I only cite the peer-reviewed stuff. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Hopefully. What are the characteristics of the data? Okay. Not contain any original data. Instead, the paper provides. Yes, that's correct. So ChatGPT is doing a really good job at summarizing this one. What type of evaluation is used? Does not use any specific. Yep. So again, it's correct. So this is a very, very good summary of the paper. Really good one. So ChatGPT did really well with this. Not perfect. Can anybody guess why? I'm just going to guess. It's because the paper is simpler. It's covering a more well-known topic. It's a tutorial. It's less specialized. That's my guess as to why it's doing better with this one. Yeah, and it's tutorial style, so it's actually trying to explain to the reader what is going on. Okay. Other ones I should review? What about this one? Oh, okay, never mind. Not that one. This one? Did I review this one already? Did I look at this one already? Yes. Okay. Okay, so I'll let you guys work for a few more minutes. You just sent one now? This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I found it interesting that you ask the same question again, it can be a different answer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So that's a very specialized paper. Okay, what is the related paper of this interaction service? Okay, supported by. Unfortunately, without additional context, I am not able to identify a specific paper. Huh. That's interesting. It's really interesting. I don't quite know why it wouldn't give an answer for this. I don't know. I have no explanation for that. Anyways, okay. I apologize. I was mistaken and did not provide a complete. Oh. Okay. Oh my gosh. Huh. I don't get that. So this is incorrect. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not working here. Customer interactive play stream services to users. Okay, this part is correct. So this is incorrect, and this is correct. This right here, this is a good summary of the concept. So if you put this down as the concept, it would get high scores. But you didn't ask it for the concept in this case. And so this is incorrect here. Okay. The article, okay. Describes a novel approach to clustering and visualization of high-dimensional data. The proposed method provides the use of tree maps and stream services to provide interactive and intuitive visualization of the data. I would say that is a pretty good summary of the concept. Pretty good. It wouldn't get distinction level, but it's pretty good. So it's a novel approach to visualization of flow data, vector field data. That would be a better answer. And it combines the use of tree maps and stream surfaces actually for, the stream surfaces are clustered, so it applies a clustering algorithm to stream surfaces, and then it uses tree maps to support interaction with those clusters in the stream surfaces. That would be a perfect concept. So this would score high, but it wouldn't get distinction level, I think. Probably like in the 60s. The method starts by applying cluster around to the height. Okay, to the vector field data would be better. The clusters are then projected on a two-dimensional space using. Okay, that's actually not true. The clusters are then projected onto a two-dimensional space using a tree map, which is a hierarchical representation. I would say the clusters are then represented in a two-dimensional space. If those words were changed, it would be really good. The tree map allows the users to explore the clusters and identify patterns in the data. That's true, that part. This is a really interesting exercise. I think the biggest problem here is, again, the fact that it's saying, I know the answer, I'm going to tell you the answer with 100% certainty. That's the problem. Like, sometimes it's correct and sometimes it's incorrect, but you don't know when. You don't know when it's going to be correct and when it's not. I think I can imagine version 2.0 of ChatGPT or future versions giving you some measure of how confident it is. Like, you could even put a little confidence rating next to each thing saying like, not confident, very confident, Stream surface is then used to create a smooth transition between adjacent clusters. That's not true, I would say. The stream surface represents data as continuous flow. That's true. That's not true. I don't know why it's talking about this, actually. This is just a bunch of noise, this part. It looks interesting, it sounds interesting, but actually it's not true. It's just spitting out noise. Okay, that's true. The concept was customer visual. The goal is to provide an interactive and intuitive way for users to explore and identify patterns in the data. That's true. The goal is to provide an interactive and intuitive way for the users to explore and identify patterns in the data. However, you would get points for that, but that's true about every data viz paper. That sentence. You could say that about every single data visualization research paper. They present a technique that's has an intuitive representation of the data, visual representation of the data, right? And helps the user discover patterns and trends and outliers. True, always true. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of data visualization as a field. The method involves several steps. First, a clustering algorithm is applied to the high-dimensional data to identify groups of. Okay, this is almost correct. Clustering algorithm. So I would say a clustering algorithm is applied to the flow data or the vector field data to identify groups of data points that are similar to one another. These clusters are then represented by a two-dimensional space using a tree map. Yeah. So it's almost correct. If you actually copied and pasted this and submitted it, I would give it probably something between a 50 and a 60, something like that. Next, a stream surface is created to provide us. Okay, this is, I don't understand why it's giving this information. It sounds interesting, it looks correct, but it's not. It's just noise. It's just like putting a bunch of words out. Yeah, this is, okay, it's repeating itself here, right? Yeah, it's repeating itself. Implementation, okay, implementation. Cluster goes to data points that are similar to each other. That's true. Yes, this is true. This part is true. Yes. So this is a very good summary of the implementation. This is very, very good. Instead of project, though, I wouldn't say project, I would say represent. The authors use a tree map to represent the clusters in a two-dimensional space. Tree map is higher up amongst the. So it's really, really good. This is the only word I would really want to change to make it correct. And that's it. You could use this as the implementation, just these sentences, and it would be, I think I would probably give a distinction level to that summary of the implementation. Yeah, it's really good. It's not perfect, but it's really good. Okay, this is incorrect, so it's just noise. This is correct, and that's correct. So it's a lot of correct stuff here. This is just a bunch of noise here. Okay, this is an interesting question. Okay, so it didn't quite get the most important related work. I mean, in the ideal world, it would give you some other papers. So, Gesundheit. It didn't quite get that question on the related work. What are the characteristics of the data? High dimensional data, which is data with a large number of dimensions or variables. High dimensional data. Okay, this is partially correct. I would say, I can't say that this is incorrect. It would get something like between a 50 and possibly in the 60s. But really what it's looking at is a more correct answer would be vector field data. That would be 100% correct. Flow data is also 100% correct. And computational fluid dynamics data. All three of those would be like 100% correct for the data characteristics. High dimensional data is more general and more abstract than, flow, vector, and CFD. So it's correct, but it's correct, but it wouldn't be the answer I would be looking for. Say, what type of evaluation is used? Okay, the user study. It's so funny. There's no user study in this paper, so it's not correct. Again, I think the big problem is that it's telling you there's a user study with 100% certainty. Like there is a user study here. There's no user study. It would be nice if it just said, like, there might be a user study or something like that. So in this case, it's another case study evaluation. It's a case study. Yeah. Okay. New Bing. Okay, that's the PDF version. Is that the PDF one? Okay. Oh, is this using New Bing to do the same thing? Is that the idea? Okay. I don't know about New Bing. Okay, this presents cluster-based stream service placement strategy for unstructured CAD. A two-phase hybrid clustering algorithm is used to visualize interesting subsets. Tree map. Use interactive solution and cluster these correspond to interesting features of the data in which to place stream service, the auth service, which provide domain expert evaluation. Okay, that's correct. That's all correct. I think this text has been copied and pasted directly from the paper, so it's all correct. I would say this is more than a summary of the concept. It's mentioning the concept, it's mentioning the implementation, it's mentioning the evaluation. So it's got concept, implementation, and evaluation. They're all correct, and they're all in there. They're all together in there. So the first sentence is a good description of the concept. The second sentence is about implementation. It's the how. Right? This third sentence is about the how. That's the implementation. And then the fourth sentence, the authors demonstrate the performance and effectiveness. That's the evaluation. That's the type of evaluation. So it's all correct. It's just all mixed together. The authors introduce okay. Two-phase clustering. Okay, they present a novel use of k-means clustering combined with density-based clustering with noise, DB scheduling. Yes, I would say that's correct. What does this mean? The web page.
You can present this web URL.
Okay. This is good. I mean, this is a good summary. What I would like to, if I had more time, what I would like to know is how much of that is copied and pasted directly from the paper. Because it looks like a lot of the text is copied and pasted directly from the paper. I don't know off the top of my head how much, but that's what it looks like. And like, in the world of academics, if you copy and paste from another source, you are supposed to cite the source and use quotes and stuff like that. Right. What's the most important related work? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yep. Yep, that's a good summary of the related work. I would say if I were to just choose one, it would be this one. But that's a very good summary of the related work. Now, I like this. I like the way it says, according to the paper's introduction. Yes, this is correct. Yes, this is correct. So this did a really good job. This what is it called? Bing? New Bing did a very good job. Really good job. Yeah. Overall, really good job. I haven't heard people talking about New Bing very much. I think this is the first time I'm learning about it right now. Oh, I have heard about New Bing. Yeah, that's the search engine. Yeah, I have heard about it. So does New Bing allow you to upload PDFs or something? You can import PDFs? Okay, okay. Okay, any other ones? Okay, I see some more. Is this another one here? That's funny. Everybody's choosing Matt Edmonds' papers. Okay, this one is a survey paper. It's really cold today, isn't it? It's like colder than usual. This is not a classic research paper. It's a survey paper, literature survey. I'm gonna put it on my hood. It's really cold. It's a literature survey, right? So it's not going to fit the standard template that we're using. So it'll be interesting to see how the ChatGPT responds to this. Okay, the concept presented. Oh, should I zoom in a little bit? Can you describe the concept presented in this paper? So the author's present a method for visualizing fluid. No, that's actually not true. Because it's a survey paper. So the concept is it's summarizing all of the related research on surface-based flow visualization. That's the concept. It's taking this topic of surface-based flow visualization and it's presenting you with a summary of all the related literature on that topic. Yeah. That's the concept. Oh, I think I understand why it's saying that. So this part's correct. This part's correct. I think what it's saying here okay, this would be correct if we altered the text to say something like what if you ask the question what is surface-based visualization, this would be the correct answer. So it's answering a different question. So it could say, if we change the text a little bit, to say something like, surface-based visualization is the following, and then it gave out that would be correct. Surface-based flow visualization. So this is answering the question of what is surface-based flow visualization. But that's not actually the concept behind the paper. And it's doing that, it's done that, I think, because we introduce the concept in the introduction. We say, what is surface-based flow visualization in the introduction. So it's just grab that out and put it in there. And again, if we had more time, I would like to go into the actual paper and see if this has been copied and pasted, like directly, because to me it looks like it could be copied and pasted, some of that. Okay, this is actually incorrect. This is incorrect. I changed my mind. I thought it was correct, but it's not correct. This is incorrect. So the concept is not quite correct there, for better or for worse. Can you summarize the implementation? Okay. I guess I should zoom in some more here. The authors use the following implementations. Okay, so like actually that question doesn't make sense for this paper. Well, if you wanted to really answer this question, how do you implement a literature survey? You'd have to describe the process by which you searched for papers. You say, this is how we searched for the papers. And you guys know the answer to that already now, because we had a lecture on this topic, right? How to find related papers. You look in the references, you then use Google's cited by feature, and then you play with a few more tools like the connected papers tool, and then you find the related papers. So that would be the implementation. Gesundheit. What's the most important related work? There is a good answer to this question, by the way. Oh. I was kind of hoping it would get this question correct. Oh, wait. Oh, not quite. Almost, but not quite. It's incorrect. It's just incorrect. This paper is cited somewhere, but it's not the most important previous work. This one is incorrect completely. So that's incorrect completely. That there's no paper with that title at all. This paper does exist, I believe, but it's not the most important related work. So that's too bad. What are the characteristics? So this question's not going to make sense for this paper because the paper doesn't use data in the way that we are thinking about for this coursework 1. The paper title, okay. Wait a second. It's got the authors mixed up now. The authors have changed. Huh. Did anybody notice that? Okay. The paper presents a method for visualizing vector fields of service quantities for yeah, okay. Oh, I see. This is interesting. This is the correct answer to a different question again. So this text is what is the question? The question would be, what is the data used for surface-based flow visualization? If you ask that question, this would be the perfect answer. Yeah. But it's not the question we're asking. What are the Okay, so yeah, I guess you could argue that that's correct. You could argue that this is correct. This is not the way I was thinking of it. This is an alternative interpretation of the question, which I think is okay, actually. So yeah, this is debatably correct. What type of evaluation do the authors use? This question, I don't know how to answer that, actually. The authors use a human-centered evaluation of the flow visualization techniques. This includes assessing the effectiveness of efforts, which is kind of how they interact with them with the insight. They also consider occlusion. I don't know what to think of that because I'm not sure how this question applies to a survey paper or a literature review. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. I don't even know how I would answer that question myself for a literature review. I mean, the way that a survey paper is evaluated, if you're interested, is you have to submit it to a conference or a journal, and then other people read it and they decide, they evaluate it to see if it's good or not. That's how you evaluate a survey paper. That's the evaluation process for a survey paper. This could be the answer to a different question, like, what are some common evaluation techniques for flow visualization? If you ask that question, this would be a pretty good answer. Okay. So that was interesting. So this one was quite a this would not help with coursework one. This one, not at all, I would say. You'd be in trouble. Okay. Maybe this is the last one. What do you guys think? We'll do this last one and then we'll stop. Interactive visualization, automotive warranty data using. Okay, good. Somebody chose a different topic. That's good. Okay, let's see. The research visual. Wait a second. It's got a different paper. Huh. That's so funny. That is a major flaw. That flaw keeps coming up. So you give it a DOI and it brings back a different paper actually. So that's okay. This is completely this has nothing to do with this paper. It's tried to give you a concept from a different paper. So you certainly can't use ChatGPT blindly, because this is a completely, I don't know what this is. I guess it's the concept from this paper, but I don't know what that paper is. Okay, are you sure? Oh, so that's cool. The paper's title is Interactive Visualization, or I apologize for the confusion. That's pretty cool. You are correct. Yes, that's so funny. That's a really funny thing. So I guess whenever you ask ChatGPT a question, you have to follow it up with, are you sure? I guess. The concept for business about visualizing and analyzing patterns in automotive warranty data, that is correct. The authors propose an interactive visualization tool based on core diagrams, which are circular diagrams that show... Correct. That is a good summary of the concept. Yeah. That's a good one. The tool allows users to explore and compare different aspects of the warranty data, such as the frequency of different types of repairs, the relationship between repair types, models. The authors introduced several novel extensions of the core diagram, such as a heat map. Oh. Okay, that's almost correct. I don't think there's any heat map. There's no heat map in this paper. And a radial axis that allows users to compare multiple data sets. So it was perfect up until the word heat. Starting at this word until the end, it's no longer correct. It was really good right up until that word. This is correct. The implementation, certainly. Huh. That is not true. I don't think that the implementation is with D3. I don't think that's true. I think that's false, actually. Chord diagrams are used to show the relationship between different categories. The heat. Okay, that first sentence, true. Second sentence, not true, because there are no heat maps in this paper. But I know what it's trying to say. It's almost true. If this phrase was changed to the line thickness is used to show the relative frequency of different data categories, it would be correct. Or if it said the thickness of chord segments is used to show the relative frequency, then it would be correct. There's no heat map in there. The radial axis is used to compare multiple data sets. Okay, that's not quite correct, that part. This is not really correct either. This is very noisy, that one, that paragraph. That's correct. It's very general, but it's correct. Okay, that's going to be an interesting question. Oh, so I like it when ChatGPT uses phrases like this. Would likely be. So it's saying like, I'm not 100% sure, but this is what I think. That's really good. You know, if it's giving you an opinion rather than saying this is definitely true and then it's not true, you know. Okay. I don't think this sentence is true. I like the first sentence, but I don't think this is true. Okay, this is true. So it would be nice if it gave you the citations to the previous work. So like in Coursework 1, you're supposed to actually identify specific papers. Or, well, in the best case scenario, you identify the one most important paper that's related. So it didn't quite help here with the related work. Characteristics of the data. So automotive warranty claims data collected by a major automotive manufacturer over a period of several years. Information types of repairs performed on vehicles under warranty, the vehicle models and production years, the dates of the repairs, and the cost. Okay, that is almost true. This is almost true. Costs are not included in the data, but otherwise it's fine. Yeah, so that's a good summary of the data. Yeah, this is a good summary. It's all, you know, it just has this error. There are no costs in the data. What type of evaluation is used? That's so funny. Okay, yep. Okay, that's almost true. Authors describe a case study. That part is true. The case study involves several participants with differing backgrounds. That part's not true. So one of those sentences is true, in my opinion, and then the other sentence is false. So now when I'm grading Coursework 1, I will be looking for these kinds of errors, and knowing that these kinds of errors come from ChatGPT. So I'm getting educated too today. Yeah. Okay, this is not true. Not true. There's no user study here. This is not true. So that's too bad. Like this is another case that's not good because it's telling you like this is true. I'm 100% certain, but actually it's not true. That's too bad. So this is really I'm not sure, like, this is, I don't know what to say, to be honest. I don't know what conclusions to draw from this exercise, other than that, you can use ChatGPT for Coursework 1, but I don't know how helpful it's going to be honest. I'm really not sure. Because you have this big mixture of correct and incorrect answers. If we wanted to get scientific about this, it would be very difficult, but I could imagine the following experiment, a thought experiment. We run this exercise, you've given me all your documents, right? Then somebody like myself goes through every single sentence and marks it as either correct or incorrect. And then I add up all the correct sentences. Let's say I find 100 correct sentences. I'm just making some number up. And then I find 100 incorrect sentences, just making up data. Then I can say you have a 50% chance of being correct if you use ChatGPT for this. You know, that's the only kind of conclusion I can think of drawing right now. Yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts about this? Like any conclusions we can draw? You have a certain probability of getting an answer correct with ChatGPT, but you don't really know what that probability is. Yeah. That's my conclusion. Anybody else have any observations or conclusions?
Gives you different answers if you ask it for twice time.
That's true. That's true. I think that this follow-up question, "Are you sure?" is a good one for ChatGPT because it seems like it helps. And then again, you could conduct the same experiment, but with version 2. You always have the "Are you sure?" next as the second question. And then we could do the same analysis, like highlight every sentence, give it correct and incorrect, and add up the probabilities. And see if the second one where you asked "Are you sure?" raises the probability of getting correct answers. I guess it would, but we'd have to conduct the experiment.
So why doesn't it give you the correct answer?
Well, that's the major experiment is how does this work and why does it work sometimes and not sometimes. That's the major experiment. And probably only the people that built it would know the answer to that. And even they might not know. So if there are too many people involved in that project, it would be interesting to know how many developers there are involved in creating ChatGPT. But if there are lots, let's say there are 20, and you ask one of them, they might not know because the knowledge is distributed amongst 20 different people. That would be a good HCI experiment to ask each engineer independently, why do you think it gets some answers correct and why do you get some wrong? And compare all the answers from the 20 different engineers. I'm going to guess that they would have 20 different answers. Yeah. It would be interesting to know. Let's just do a quick Google search. How many software engineers developed ChatGPT? Can somebody ask ChatGPT itself how many engineers, software developers? Is ChatGPT raising? So how many developers use? I don't see. I don't see any information about this. I don't know. It doesn't look like that information is publicly available. Does anybody know what happens if you ask ChatGPT? Let's ask how many software developers developed ChatGPT. Oh, okay. That's not very good.
Maybe you can refresh that.
I'm not getting any response right now. Something's wrong. Anybody get a response from?
Many.
It just says many?
Yeah.
That's all it says, many. Okay. Okay, so the more people that were involved, the more difficult it is to find the answers to those questions. Okay, any other questions? Any questions about this exercise or coursework 1 or anything like that? Is everybody cold? It's colder today than usual. I think we'll stop there, yeah. And if anybody has questions, I know some people have questions for after the class, so we'll meet outside. Hopefully it's warmer like downstairs. Yeah. Have a good weekend, everybody.